Hey, Awesomes, how are we doing this week? Sorry for the late video to you. I spent the last 2 days making sure we're all caught up on grading. Spent a lot of time with your individual research reports. I think I have just one, I think, left to do. And so I apologize for those taking a little bit of time, but I wanted to make sure and provide you with substantial feedback because the research proposal and what you're planning on doing and where you're headed with your project kind of requires that it's important, I should say, or it's imperative that we are kind of like starting off in the right direction, if that makes sense, so that we can, right now is the time to course correct and really be thinking about the ways that we're researching and the ways that we are thinking about the issue that we are raising, all right, we're talking about. So provide a lot more feedback, and as most of you hopefully have seen by now, the way I did it this time on the research proposal was to take your Word document and then use the Word comment feature in Word to then highlight certain areas, ask you specific questions, maybe nudge you in certain directions, maybe inspire you to think about things a little differently, perhaps, something like that. So, so please read those thoroughly. Take those things into consideration, into account, especially now that you're in the really starting to get into the actual research phase of your proposal. So, so anyway, got all that to look at and to read, and I want you to take time with that. So, which brings me to kind of week 11 here. I took away one of the readings, one of the articles that I had scheduled for us to read this week, and just said, reread the one that you're doing, because you want to be really cognizant, really aware of what you're doing section-wise, how you put this thing together in the type of report: proposal, information, recommendation report, the three types of reports that Markel talks to us about. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get a little bit closer, and we'll also do that thing that we kind of learned about from Hens, when it comes to genre, and that is the fact that it's fluid. There are certain typified rhetorical actions. For example, we might think about the memo. The memo will have memo at the top, the to, the from, the subject, the date, and then you'll be kind of uniform in who all it's going to, who it's from. Your subject line, a line space, and then you'll have your introduction, and then you'll have the different sections, right? And the sections that we do are the ones that we are informed to us by the assignment description. So that's how we can kind of think about genre in that way. And so I want you to kind of be thinking about that this week and rereading that, kind of really letting that kind of absorb. So no discussion post this week. All right, I made note of that on there, and also make note of it obviously in a Blackboard announcement to you as well. So let's just look at it for a quick sec here. So reread, as I said, right? If you're doing a proposal, if your group's doing a proposal, look at chapter 11 again. If you're doing an informational report, be cognizant and aware of chapter 12, and if you're doing a recommendation report, think about chapter 13, and then do take some time to look at the common errors in student research papers. A lot of these things will help you as you think about writing, right? Some of the comments I made back to you might be, think about the different style, think about our audience, think about the tone, think about some of our word choice, things of that nature, and then that will definitely help you with the actual writing. So no assignments due this week. There's no posting. I just want you work on your research reports, right? Use the time to, maybe you need to still get your surveys ready, or any questionnaires, or you need to reach out to people for interviews and do things of that nature, whatever. Work together in your workspaces and Google Docs, or what was the other one that you guys are using? Slack, I think, is another one. So Google Hangouts or Skyping with each other, whatever you need to do. I just want to make sure you guys have extra time, and then also take that time to read over the feedback that you have received for your research proposals, and make sure if anything's not clear, if you need any clarification on anything, please do let me know. All right, send me an email if your group wants to meet with me, or if you want me to meet with you and your group when you're putting this together. I'm available. I try to make myself as available as I possibly can to you. So please feel free to take advantage of that. All right, so lastly, or finally, I have graded, I think, everything. I put a column in the grade book also for discussion posts. And if you did the discussion posts, etc., I basically said we have 10. I think week 5, we didn't do one week 5, and obviously we're not doing one this week. So If you did 8 of them, you got 80%. If you did 9 of them, you got 90%, et cetera, et cetera. So it was fairly straightforward. Whenever you do posts and you replied to post and did those kind of things, they've all been really, really good and very, very thorough. So there's no I don't get really, really technical on those as far as like, looking at grammar or something. Look at, you've contributed interesting information, right, and insight to and participated in the conversation, and that's what that's all about. And those of you who participate in the conversation are doing a magnificent job, awesome job. So there's that. I think that's it for now. So like I said, I'm scrapping the discussion board post this week because I want you to concentrate really on thinking about your research report. I want you to really be concentrating and thinking about your the feedback that you received on your research proposal, and then making sure that you have ample time to then make any changes, or if you want to revise the research plan, or excuse me, the research proposal and resubmit it, please feel free to do so. Just let me know, because we want to get working on the research itself, because I need a progress memo is due not this Sunday but the following. All right, we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get closer to that. So, all right, have a wonderful week. I'm sure there are other things that you may or may not need from me. So if there's something I have not covered or have not addressed, please do not hesitate to let me know. As far as I'm concerned, everything that I've received online on Blackboard, for the site, I believe I've graded. So if there's something, if you see a discrepancy or whatever on there, please do not hesitate to just let me know, and we'll work it out. So, oh yeah, lastly, I have received a few emails wondering about any Project 1A revisions for the resume and the cover letter. Yes, I will try to get that out late today, probably be tomorrow, and accompany that with a video to explain how that will work. All right, fair enough. For now, concentrate on your research proposals, your feedback from there, and working towards your research for Project 3. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a most wonderful day. You're awesome. You rock. We'll talk soon. Bye.